Welcome to yet another review video on our YouTube channel. This time about a Sightron scope S3 8 to 32 by 56 LR TDT, that means long range, and TDT basically stands for finer click adjustment. This is the only scope from all 8 to 32 scopes made by Sightron and S3 line, which has really fine clicks, 1/8 of MOA. Well, it's going to be hard to make this review because this is my favorite scope in the entire Sightron line. It is also one of the most popular scopes in the entire S3 line and Sightron in general. As you probably know, Sightron is a US based company which produces excellent target scopes. When the entire market, all other companies are going towards tactical part of the market, the Sightron is doing a great job with target rifle scopes. That means rifle scopes which have capped turrets, second focal plane reticles, really fine reticles with fine click adjustment and really high magnification for the at most accurate shooting, of course normally accompanied with possibility of test shots, of trial shots. All of S3 scopes, including this one, are made in Japan, so the build quality is really high. Everything works really nicely. You can see that the diopter setting on the eyepiece flows smoothly. The same applies for the magnification ring, and you can feel quality everywhere. With a price tag of this scope, which is around 1000 euros, this is really something special, not seen a lot. And what is even more special is that when you look through it, you get optical performance almost at the level of much more expensive scopes. So this is probably the reason why Sightron scopes are dominating almost the market of target shooters, at least here in the Eastern Europe and Central Europe. Some people also say that they are the most affordable premium rifle scopes you can get. And one of my friends also says that they are the cheapest scopes which enable you to win almost everywhere. As you can see, this scope is approximately 38 centimeters long. It's not a small scope, and it weighs roughly 750 grams. In the box you also get the sunshade, you get cleaning cloth, the manual, and since 2015 you also get a neoprene cover, scope cover, instead of flip-up covers. I think this was a smart idea. I also think that this neoprene scope cover is a much better way to protect the scope compared to flip-up covers. The reticle inside is in the second focal plane, and it's a target dot reticle. This is the only reticle available with this fine click adjustment. The clicks are 3.5 millimeters on 100 meters, so they're really fine. Not many rifles shoot more accurately than they would even need such a fine click. And the target dot means that the reticle is similar to fine crosshair. That means vertical and horizontal hair, and in the center there is a small dot which is also of the same size like clicks. That means roughly 3.5 millimeters on 100 meters. A lot of people like this reticle because it's easier to concentrate on the central dot than on a central crosshair. The reticle is non-illuminated and especially meant for accurate target shooting. The turrets, as you can see, come with the caps. They are standard target turrets, really easy to adjust by hand. You can see that there is 10 of MOA of travel in one revolution. And in total internal adjustment range is 70 MOA. So it's a true long range scope. but it will help also if you have canted mounts. You will even extend your range. The clicks are crisp, but they could be a little bit more audible. And the tracking, what is also something not seen a lot at scopes with a price tag of approximately 1,000 euros, the tracking is really perfect. We have tested many of these scopes, our customers tested even more, bigger numbers of these scopes for tracking, and we didn't have a single problem with tracking with Sightrons. The tracking really works outstanding for this price range. The Sightron calls this system exact track, and well, let's leave technical details aside. It works perfectly. It really tracks and it comes back to zero perfectly every time. So if I make a short summary, this is really a true target scope. I really like the philosophy. There is nothing what you don't need. There are no additional features and so on, but you get really fine clicks, extremely fine reticle, and you get a optics which gives you high quality sight, high quality picture even at 32 magnification. Even at the highest setting you can still use it. You can still see bullet marks on really far away. With this exactly the same model of the scope, I once was observing 308 bullet holes or bullet impacts at 500 meters. It was a perfect light conditions. It was cloudy and so on, and just half an hour after it rained. But if we left everything aside, this is still a perfect achievement. You get a glass which offers you ability to see 308 bullet marks on paper targets on 500 meters, which is outstanding. What I also think is really good is that the tracking is so perfect, and where I see still a little bit of possible improvements in the future, I would say that the central dot could be a little bit smaller. Even it could be like March is doing, absolutely even finer than 1/8 of MOA. And what I also think is that the parallax could be a little bit less stiff. I'm seeing on some new arrivals just which are coming now from the factory that the parallax is softer and softer each year. So 4 years ago, if you bought this scope, the parallax was a little bit stiffer, and now even on this scope it's already soft enough. But still, if it would be even softer, nothing would be wrong. So thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions, if you need any additional information, please do not hesitate to send us an email, visit our webpage, or use comments on this YouTube channel.